And I sat down to this, and it had that sort of infectious opening number, and basically the whole way through it was a lot of fun. Do you get that from the script when you get a script for a film like this?
Yeah, the first script was, kind of like a rough draft of the story, so I think a lot of the elements were added as over 2 years as it was made, as it was animated. And so a lot of things that were in the movie, I had no idea they were going to be in the film because my character wasn't in that scene. So when I actually saw the final thing, it was a delightful surprise to realize it was even better than I thought it was going to be.
When you see the final thing, as you put it, and I'm going to sound like a granddad here, I'm always amazed when I sit down and watch these films how impressive they are. Because I don't have kids, so I only ever watch them when I do junkets.
No, I know what you mean.
Do you get that when you sit there and you see the final draft and say, how do they do that? And it's so different.
Absolutely. Sorry, I didn't let you finish your question
before
I started
in the same way,
with you.
exactly. When you sit down and actually say, this is what they've created after, me standing in a studio booth.
Well, I think it's amazing. I mean, I guess because I fell in love with acting. I don't have a brain or an imagination that would be able to do what Carlos Saldaña, our director, his imagination for visuals is, there's a reason why he does this. And so I get to discover it with everyone else when I see the final film. It just kind of blows your mind, and whatever you thought it was going to be, it's that much more. And look, it's hard to make movies, period. It's hard to make a good film, and so I can't even imagine what it is to have to animate something like this as well.
You've done a fair bit of animation now, obviously Rio 1 and 2, Family Guy, The Simpsons. I mean, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy the fact that it's different to perhaps your day job, or do you view it in the same way?
I do view it the same way. But it's it's fun. I love making movies and all kinds of movies, and particularly with something like this that brings children such joy. I mean, I know that sounds like such a line, but it's true. I mean, it's an amazing thing to watch this movie and hear kids laugh and enjoy it, and
adults laugh as well. But believe it or not,
that's nice. And don't get me wrong, love hearing laughter's great in general.
We all pretend not to laugh, but we're all sitting there enjoying it, having fun.
But when you hear a kid just lose their mind because of something that they just saw up there and you're a part of it, I mean, it feels so amazing.
How different is it for you? Because when you think back to sort of the heady days of radio, certainly in the States, we had all these massive radio plays and radio dramas. It's kind of a lost art, isn't it? Do you find it more difficult doing sort of voice acting?
I find everything difficult. I think that, there is a transitional moment in every session where, particularly on this movie, when I was doing Rio, I made a few other films, and you get used to, on screen, you have to do things in a more subtle way. It's sometimes even more subtle than you would do them in life. And on this one, it's quite the opposite. It's called animated for a reason. You have to get yourself up there. You have to bring your energy up. And you just feel kind of dumb. And a little self-conscious for the first half an hour, and then eventually that melts away and you get into the groove and you start having fun.
You just mentioned there how you turn up into a booth. Do you enjoy the fact you don't have wardrobe or makeup? Do you turn up in tracky bees and a hoodie? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and that's great. I never think about that. My favorite thing is that I just get to eat carbs while working. I just love that because you obviously when you're on camera you have to be strict and blah blah blah. But on this one you can just sort of do whatever you want.